marketing online is much harder than people make it look. It takes a lot of effort to take the photos and then actually get that audience engaged in your product and then engaged enough to actually follow you on your journey and buy that product.
Child entrepreneurs are turning their ideas into a money-making reality, becoming the business minds of the future. Now, at just 12 years old, Brisbane girl Andrea, who's my guest in today's video, already owns and runs a successful business called Andy Candle Co. I asked Andrea how she came up with an idea to start the business, tips she has for kids wanting to start a business, and what parents can do to help kids to get an early start to becoming a successful entrepreneur. Now, let's hear what Andrea had to say. Hi, Andrea. How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for accommodating this interview with me. I know we've had to make some changes, but it really showed that you're one of those adaptable entrepreneurs, right? So, Andrea, I just wanted to take this opportunity to learn more about your story. How did you even, come up with your idea in the candle business?
Well, I really wanted an iMac and I asked my mum for one and she was like, "No, you can buy that yourself." And I said, "Fine, I will." And then I started looking for ideas to start a business and I was going through all of my options and candles just stood out of all of them. And I really wanted to try my own candle business.
Okay, so were you brought up in an entrepreneurial family at all? Are your parents in business? How did you have that drive as an entrepreneur?
Well, my mum and dad have a business of their own and that did kind of also inspire me to start my business.
Tell me more a little bit about your parents' business and what have you learned from them running their own business?
Mum and dad have a building business, Zoo Build, and something that I've learned is it's a lot of hard work and you can't take things for granted. You have to work for it and earn for money and all of that stuff.
So did they teach you lessons or have you just been observing along the way since you were a kid? Was there any moment when you were growing up that you remember that made you decide, that's it, I want to start my business? Or was it just at that time when your mum said, well, yeah, you got to go and figure out yourself, that did you turn into business?
I think it was just that time that my mum said, you got to make your own money to get this iMac and yeah.
So did you learn any business things at school, anywhere at all, or was it purely from observing your parents running the business day to day?
Just observing, and we don't really learn much entrepreneurship at school. So mainly observing mum and dad run their business really helped me.
Okay. How many years have you been in this business now?
I think it's my second year.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me more about, I guess, the mission behind your business and what your business is all about.
I want to encourage young kids like me to start their own business. And I think that if we can get more kids like me to learn more about entrepreneurship, it would just be so much better for everyone because they don't really teach that type of stuff at school.
So not only have you started your own business, you're already on a mission to inspire others, right? You're just so amazing. You're your heart is so big and you're just looking beyond just yourself and the little lifestyle that you create for yourself. So how did you come across the candle idea, and compared to what other ideas did you had to kind of grow up over and deciding, okay, a candle was the best one?
So I did consider scrunchies and I was looking at everyone, but I noticed that a lot of young kids did do scrunchies and a lot of people were doing it. So I thought I want to do something different that not many people or young entrepreneurs are doing. So I chose candles and I noticed that not many kids do make candles.
Yeah. And so how did you learn to make candles? Have you ever made candles before?
I had never made candles before. So I was YouTubing and trying to find suppliers and I watched so many YouTube videos and I was just trying to research all this stuff so that I could actually learn how to make it. And then there was it was so hard to find suppliers and it's just all the concepts of business that I had to go through to learn how to make the candles was very hard and long, but it turns out pretty easy once you get to know how to make them.
So if you could take me back time when you first decided, okay, I want to learn candles. How long did you watch videos for before you go and started making, test making some of those candles, and then between making it and then selling it, do you want to give me a little bit of the background story?
So making it and selling it between there was like, I think it wasn't too long because I started off selling it to my family and friends. And then once I sold it to them, I started moving on to like, I went to markets and I was like selling it to the community as well.
Mm. And how did you know how to price it? Like, how did you name it? Like, tell us more about those inspirations.
So I learned how to price it because mum and dad were teaching me about, profit and loss and all that. And then they taught me how to price a product. So that's
Mm.
how I priced it. And then my name, I actually used to get called Andy a lot. So I don't get called it anymore, but Andy Candle Co. has just sticked like that.
Yeah. And how has it been? You said that you sold at the markets, and now I can see you have a website online. So what's the experience with selling your products online versus, physically to people? What are the challenges and what's the pros?
I find selling at markets, it's so good to be able to talk to the customers and be able to sell my products to them by talking to them and
Mm.
interacting with them. But online, it is also good because they get to see all of the pretty photos on my website of all the beautiful candles.
Yeah.
So either way, I think it's a really great way to sell on both sides.
Yeah. So since you're selling online, can you sell it across Australia or the world, or is there any limit in who you can sell to?
No, there's no limit. I can sell it worldwide and anyone can buy my candles.
Okay. And so what kind of product range do you currently have for the audience?
We have like travel tins, which are smaller candles.
Mhm.
And then we have large clear jars, which are bigger than the travel tins. Large frosted, which are the same as the large clear, but a frosted jar.
Yep.
And an extra large frosted. But we also have a huge candle bowl that's like really big as a bowl. And another thing, and we're working on something really exciting soon that I can't tell you yet.
Oh,
We're working on it.
that is so exciting. Yeah, do tell us eventually. In business, people always say, what makes you unique? Like, what would you say your business or your candles, why is it different to other people's?
Well, I like to choose really unique scents, and my scents, they're sweet, but they're also like, they have a mix, and it's just what I like. And I find like I want to like what I'm selling, and it's handpicked. I'm a young entrepreneur, so it's really good to support. And our wax is soy coconut wax, so it's really nice, and our candles melt evenly.
I am sold there. I love some of the names of your candles. Yeah, they smell so delicious already. So when you were researching some of those smells or the things, like you said that these are things that you like, did you have to also ask the audience what they wanted, that your target audience of, would they buy something like this?
Yes, I did do a poll on Instagram saying what type of scents would you like to see, and they also told me what they would like, and I included that into all of the scents.
Mm. Okay. And talking about Instagram, are you having to kind of build an audience there too? What have you actually learned about growing a business online? Because I know when I first started my e-commerce business like over 10 years ago, I thought I could just build some products and people would just buy it. And I realized it's just so much more marketing and just all these online, and back then there wasn't a lot of social media, but now there's a lot of social media, right? Apart from learning how to make the actual candle and creating a great product, what other skills have you had to learn?
Well, I learned that marketing online is much harder than people make it look. It takes a lot of effort to take the photos and then actually get that audience engaged in your product, and then engaged enough to actually follow you on your journey and buy that product.
Okay. And then have you like learned to enjoy it along the way? Out of everything that you have to do in your business, what's your favorite part and what's your least favorite part?
Oh, my favorite part would be probably talking to all of my customers and meeting new people. along the way of my entrepreneurship journey. And my least favorite part would probably be like, there's nothing bad about
You like
owning a
everything.
business. I think
You've
I
got
enjoy everything.
you've got such a positive attitude. So what other tips you could give to other kids out there who don't have the confidence like you do, right? You seem like you're so positive and you're loving, embracing everything, and others maybe just feel like a little bit doubtful or not sure if they could do it. What are some of your tips or things that you do to make yourself so confident?
Well, I just think like keep going and it'll just get better. And I just think if you just believe in your business and yourself, then you can really make it work. And that's what I like to tell young entrepreneurs.
That is amazing. And what would you say the tips would be for parents who are wanting to raise their kids just like you and go, oh my God, I want a child like Andrea. What would you say to the parents in terms of how can they encourage their kids to become the next entrepreneur?
Just tell them all the benefits about owning a business of their own and how fun it can be and how much you learn along the way of owning a business.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. I asked you so many questions and you were so amazing. So thank you so much for your time here today. And I know you've inspired a lot of kids, including myself. So thank you. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you would like to try out Andrea's candles, you can take advantage of a special code offer that she's provided to us. You simply enter the promo code at checkout to get 20% off your purchase. Check the details in the description below. But otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this episode and I will see you in the next video.